Well, succulent red prawns served in a lime and habanero vinaigrette. This elevated but really simple dish is fresh, flavourful and made using some of Australia's finest ingredients.
And here to show us how is Culinary Director of Sarah Dining in Berry, Alex Pritchard. Morning to you, Alex.
Hi, Alex.
Let's start with the vinaigrette. How do we make it?
Thanks for having me, guys. So we've got some finely diced habanero, depending on how hot you like it.
Like a chilli?
That's chilli. Yeah, you can just replace it with red chilli, whatever chilli you've got going around. Bit of shallot, finely diced as well.
Oh, and that's super finely diced.
Mine do not look like that.
I think you guys can do this just as well.
In the food processor?
Okay.
And then here we have some caraway seeds that have been toasted and ground, a little bit of Szechuan peppercorn, and some long pepper, which is like a kind of sweet Javanese pepper, and a little bit of sliced up curry leaf as well. So the idea is that the prawns are so sweet already that you want to kind of add a bit of fragrance. So we've got spice there from the chilli, we've got the diced eshallot for a bit of texture, we've got lime zest for, you know, that kind of zesty fragrance. Then we've got those two peppers in there for a bit of warmth. And then we've got some lime juice for a bit of the acid.
So the trick is here, I reckon, is not to skimp on any of these ingredients because these are really going to carry your really simple prawns, right?
Exactly. Yeah, the prawns are so beautiful and sweet. You want them to shine on their own, and all you want to do is add in other flavours that'll go with it. So, like, the idea with this is every one of those flavours kind of pops in your mouth and opens up the palate a bit. You know, those peppers are nice and warming. The chilli, you know, gives you that punch and wakes you up a little bit, and then you've got the zest and the acid.
Wow.
What about prepping prawns? I always find it quite difficult.
It's easy.
Okay.
It's easy.
Can you give us the professional hack?
So, these guys here that have the head on, that's how I love to serve them in the restaurant. You could do it at home just like that, and they're equally as beautiful. So it's really, really simple. So you basically just peel the shell off the outside. Right,
so keeping the head on, because the head's usually the first thing I take off.
Yeah, me too.
No, so
head off, squeeze the tail, off with the body, then the tail.
With a cooked prawn, but not a raw prawn.
Oh, so these
you don't need to. Yeah, these are all raw.
But they're pink.
That's the colour of them, because they're a beautiful, sweet, deep-sea prawn.
Well, tell us about this, because these particular prawns, these are finalists in the upcoming Delicious Produce Awards.
Yes.
So tell us about these.
So these are incredible. These are actually from my neck of the woods. These are called Bombo Royal Reds.
Yes.
So they're a beautiful, sweet prawn caught by Frank Musumeci and Better Choice Fisheries down off the coast of Bombo, kind of south near Kiama.
Yeah.
And so they're a wonderful sweet prawn. They've got such lovely succulent flavour. They're salty and salinic, so they're mid-water trawled, frozen on the boat, and they've just got such a wonderful texture and flavour to them. And yeah, when we were judging it at the Produce Awards, I just fell in love with them. They're on the menu down at Sarah at the moment on a mixed crudo plate.
Wow.
Yeah.
And as one of the Produce Awards judges, what exactly are you looking for across all categories when you're doing that?
It's a mixture of different things. You might be looking for a unique product. You might be looking for something you've never seen before. You might be looking for a producer that's been, you know, in the awards for years and years and done a huge amount of innovation. And these, for me, were a product that ticked all the boxes. They're an incredible local producer. They're bringing a product to market that hasn't previously been coming to market from that area. And look, instantly, you see around the judging table, all the chefs kind of start fighting over who's going to get what on the menu.
Right.
Everyone starts going, okay, no, everyone's texting at the table, you know, placing orders, trying to get the first pallet so no one else can get them.
Okay, so we've got these beautiful raw red prawns.
Yes.
Can you please assemble it now? So what do? We leave the tail on and the head.
Yep.
So stretch them out.
Yeah, so just line them up like little torpedoes of sweet oceanic goodness. Give them a bit of a season with some salt.
Yeah.
They're already, you know, a lot of that sea and oceanic flavour is locked in there already, so you don't need too much more. The salt's just to bring out that natural flavour that's in there.
The salt flakes,
Yeah, salt flakes.
Yeah.
And then we've got the dressing here.
And that's the vinaigrette you just made.
That's the vinaigrette we just made, so...
And it's going on to a raw prawn.
A raw prawn.
So does it sort of cook in the lime juice a
little bit? Yeah, slightly. Not too much. Like, you still want to preserve that wonderful sweetness and soft texture that the prawn has.
Okay.
This is a great dish for summer.
Yeah, and pop it with a little lime cheek. And it's that easy. The best thing about this, especially for home at summer, you can have this all pre-prepared in the fridge. You can have the prawns ready to go. You can have the vinaigrette ready to go. Then just pop it out on a plate like that, and then suddenly your guests are wowed.
Yeah.
Especially because we haven't taken the head off first. Now we're really going to wow them.
And if we don't have access to this particular sort of prawn, which I know is fabulous, and then we just had green prawns, you couldn't do it with a green prawn.
If you're serving prawns raw, you really want to be careful where you're sourcing them from and make sure they're sashimi grade. That's the main thing. But these are available to the public. So Better Choice Fisheries down in Wollongong, you can get them from there. I'm not sure if they post, but they probably will after I've just said that.
They are
anyway,
now.
we need to look for sashimi grade prawns. That looks absolutely fantastic. You can find the full recipe over on our Instagram page at Cooking on 7, as well as more info about the upcoming delicious Harvey Norman Produce Awards coming soon. Thank you so much, Sarah Dunning.
Thank you.
Beautiful.
See you guys down there.
Yep.